We gotta get better at this, right? To be like ready. Hey guys, welcome to the Entrefluential Life podcast. This is John. I'm your host.
And this is Sebastian Tanner, your co-host.
Oh man, so we were just laughing and talking about being late, right? Because it's 7:38 and we're supposed to be live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're just talking about like we got to get better in next season, right? Season 2 at being on time, with our show.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know what? The cool thing is that you're getting us raw. Like this is us in the flesh, real deal. Yeah, we do have some preparation. Yeah, we're a little bit late on the preparation. But you know what? We're just doing this for 6 months now, and we're getting better as we go. We don't have any production assistants. It's just Sebastian and me. And so, like, we're winging this a lot.
Sometimes we work out different things. We try different lighting positions, and so it takes a little bit more time as we get better. We're trying to see what works the best with what we have right now.
Exactly. And we're limited on our resources.
So that's really what the key thing is. Once we get the other resources, we'll have our lighting set up and everything ready much faster because it'll be a bit more fluid and equipment. Right now, we play around with the little lights that we have around the house.
Yeah. Plus, we're doing other things too. I mean, we're doing this from home.
Exactly.
So like we're like, doing our lifestyle stuff at home, and then we're like, oh, it's time to get ready for the show. And if we were like in a professional studio, we would be there already and have everything, ready to go. So it's just like that mind switch to go from like home life to business life, because this is like a job, it's a business. So like, there's that thing that we're trying to work around and get it squared away, but just bear with us. We're working on it, and I promise you, this is gonna be better down the road, right?
Oh yeah, season 2 will be a much bigger improvement. But every episode that we go, we get better as we go, little by little. So
100%, man. It's like doing your repetitions, right? You got to do your repetitions in the gym to get better at your physical fitness. You've got to do your repetitions with your self affirmations to get better with your mindset.
Yep.
And then these things here, your business skills, you get better with repetitions of your business skills as well.
That's right. So we're just getting our reps in as the episodes go.
That's right, man. We got 29 reps in, baby.
Yeah.
We're at 229.
Yeah.
What?
Huge difference.
Dude, I already have this vision of like how our studio is gonna look in the future. It's gonna be sick.
Oh
man.
yeah.
I've shown you some of the pictures before.
Yeah.
Like we have to revisit them because I was scrolling through my pictures on my phone, right?
Yeah.
And I saw like 3 or 4 different setups. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta talk to Sebastian, show this to you again, because like, dude, I get excited when I see that.
Me too.
I visualize us having like converting a warehouse into a studio, a TV studio, and having really nice chairs. So maybe we'll have 2 different setups. Like one area will be for like when we're doing this, doing a presentation. But I want to be able to stand up and do like an educational thing with a whiteboard, so I can mark out ideas.
Exactly.
How cool would that be, man? And then we can have like a sitting area where when we bring in guests, it's more intimate, right?
Exactly.
Like in a living room environment. And I was thinking like last week when we had Adrian here, or her, well, that's her real name, but her stage name, right? And Teresa St. John. So when we had Teresa St. John on our show, I was thinking we should have gone to the clubhouse and use that living space over there.
Oh yeah.
The sitting area over there would have been much better for that. If we have a guest, we'll do that until we get into our professional studio.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Area to do an interview.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. We'll set up the lighting over there. It'll be great.
Yeah.
We just need to get the lapel mics, right? The lavalier mics, so that we can do the interview better. Yep. So yeah, man, we're making progress. We're just living the dream, man. And it's fun. It's a great journey.
It is.
Awesome, man.
I'm enjoying it.
Me too. So without further ado, we always bring you physical, mental, and spiritual and entrefluential tips of the day, because we feel that because this is true, right? The studies have been done that in order for you to live at your optimal performance, you have to have your physical, your mental, and your spiritual wellness and batteries charged up, right? Your physical, mental, and spiritual wellness has to be doing good, right?
Yeah.
In other words, if there's a deficit in either of those components of your personality, so I feel like God is a triune God, right? So we know this, right? We know that God is God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And he created us in his image. So we're trinities too, right?
Yeah.
So there's in our trinities we have a physical body, we have a soul, and we have the spirit living inside of us. So that's part of it. But then you can also look at it as like, well, we're also a triune person, human beings, because we also have our physical, our mental, and our spiritual wellness.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? Physical, mental, spiritual, right? Because listen, you're not even like, you think that you're your mind, but you're not your mind. You're your soul. Your mind is an organ that your soul is controlling.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we get lost and caught up into the mind, but you need to control your mind. It's an organ. It's your tool, right? So when you get your spiritual wellness in full capacity, you realize, you separate. And that's why meditation is so important, so that you can get focus and separate yourself from your mind's thoughts. Those thoughts, that processing isn't really you. It's your tool that's doing work for you. Exactly. And you've got to step back and see that, visualizing, like, here I am, here's my mind, here's my body, right? And this here I am, this I am acknowledgement is your soul. Right? And so when you get all three of those in alignment, man, like, woo! Yeah, baby, you're in optimal performance, man. You're ready to do big things, man. You're living the entrepreneurial life.
That's right.
All right, man. So what do you got for the physical tip of the day?
All right. So the physical tip of the day, we're going to be on number 3 on our list from the American Sports and Fitness Association. This is their top 10 list of the strength and performance conditioning exercises, I believe. So today we're on the 3rd one, and this is planks. So it's an effective way to work all of your stabilizer muscles in your core. We all know that, doing a plank, your serious core workout. But the thing is, they also target muscles in your back, your glutes, your shoulders. You're not just working your core, but it's in a way, not even just in a way, literally, it's a whole body workout. You know, you're working your shoulders, your arms, your back, your glutes, so your legs are working, your shoulders are working, your arms are working. Maybe chest, I wouldn't say, I don't know how much it's working for the chest, but for the most part,
if like that,
exactly, because when
you're holding like a push-up position.
Exactly, but with your forearms.
Right.
So, and for those of you that don't know how to do a plank, you're going to get up to a push-up position, and instead of having your hands right there, you're bracing yourself with your hands. You're going to brace yourself with your forearms. And so in a way, it is kind of working the chest a little bit. So it's a full body workout.
Full body.
It's insane. So that's why they got it on number 3, because that's the top. That's in the top 3 right there for the workouts that you should be doing. It's an entire, it works your core from the front to the bottom, front to back, top to bottom, front to back.
I need to start doing this, man. I have not.
I want to start incorporating planks into my workouts.
I need to start doing that, man.
Like, I was reading, a couple minutes a day. You can do 3 sets of 1 minute. But that might even be hard.
Okay.
So you could do as much as you can at first. So if it's 30 seconds, 45 seconds, you build it up over time. But doing 3 sets.
So it's just getting in
that position.
Push-up position.
You want to have a flat line from your head to your toe. You want to have kind of a flat line as much as you can. Parallel. You have a parallel line.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's it.
And then you just sit there
and hold.
For how long?
Generally a minute.
A minute. Okay.
3 sets of a minute each, and that's an insane.
That's great.
It's insane. That shows you how long a minute is.
I think you have to put the timer on your phone, right? Set timer.
That's what
60 seconds. Oh, okay. I'm gonna start that, man.
It's better to just close your eyes and get into it, because when you're watching that clock, it makes every second.
We get the music going on there, right? Oh my god! So I've been trying your pre-workout drink.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm only doing first I did a quarter.
Yeah.
And now I'm up to about half. Yeah, half of that cup.
You build up the tolerance.
And listen, man, when I was in the gym the other day, a few days ago, because the last 2 days I haven't gone because I've been working at 6 o'clock in the morning. But I'm gonna go today, man. So tomorrow morning, I'm going in the morning. Hey, so when I was there, I noticed when I was doing my weights, it felt so easy, man.
Right.
And I did I did my 3 sets. I did my 45 push-ups, 15, 15, all the other things I do.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do more.
That's how it.
I felt like doing another whole set. I didn't, but I felt like I could do it. You know? I was like, wow, this thing actually, I really feel like it's that liquid, man.
Yeah.
The pre-workout drink.
It really makes a difference. Yeah. It's not gonna lift the weights for you, but I mean, it makes you such a boost of energy.
That's what you need.
There's other things that's inside of pre-workouts too. There can be bad things in certain pre-workouts, but if you're getting a good pre-workout, it's a good brand. I mean, it's also good to try out other brands too, because from my own experience in the gym, I've tried different pre-workouts from when I first started. I think I've been working out now for 2 years that I've been
Mhm.
going to the gym, and it hasn't been all every single day. It's just been when I can get it in. And,
Yeah.
you know, I learn as I go with my body, and during certain things in life, you know, you have to put focus towards work or sometimes, but you always want to make sure you
You
focus
go
on
back.
the gym.
Make sure
So
you go
even
back.
if I take a few days off, I know I got to get back into it on a certain day.
Right.
And so you always want to. You might slip, but you want to catch yourself while you're slipping.
Absolutely.
So you don't fall
Yeah, because you don't want to turn into 2 months.
Exactly.
That's really hard to get back in, man.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I hate going past 3 days.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
imagine
brutal,
a couple
man.
months, and then people turn into a year. And
Oh,
a
yeah,
year,
forget about it.
It's
You're
hard
like,
to even
it's
get back into it.
so hard.
Exactly. But anyway, so I've tried multiple different pre-workouts, and some of them made me feel a little bit different than others. So it's good to try them out and see which one works for you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the pre-workout gives you it makes your regular workout. Then you take it and you go into your regular routine. And you're like, wow, I feel like I had so much more energy.
I
to
literally
give,
did.
You can do more reps.
It was freaking
and a
amazing.
few more sets.
Yeah.
It gives you such a
boost. Yep.
You know,
100%.
It gives you a boost. And one thing I learned though is to not rely 100% on pre-workouts to get you through your workouts, because eventually, like I've had times where I use the pre-workout and then I haven't, and when I went to go and work out without the pre-workout, I felt like I couldn't get as good of a workout in because I was so reliant on pre-workout. So it's important to know that it's a good tool to use, but don't rely on it 24/7, 365 days out of the year.
Hey, Greta and John Paul are online. Just want to say, hey guys, we're so happy to see you guys.
Thank you for joining.
Sorry,
But
just
yeah.
wanted to address that real quick. These guys are
gotta
awesome
say hi
for
to
being
them.
here, man. We love you guys. Thank you guys for being here.
But
So
yeah.
that's awesome, man. So okay, your physical tip of the day. Freaking do the
Planks.
the planks. I was gonna say
Yep.
plunges. The planks. I'm totally gonna do it
Plunge the
tomorrow.
toilet.
Not that, but
Taco night.
dude, if you after the workout, man, you might squeeze something
Sometimes.
out of you. Like, yeah. If you do, okay, make sure you wash your hands afterwards. Damn it.
But yeah, so do the planks.
Oh my God.
Try out some pre-workouts. It's gonna.
I'm gonna do the planks tomorrow, man. Like, I'm stoked
I
about
wanna
doing the
do
planks
some
tomorrow.
planks tomorrow.
Okay. For 3 repetitions for 1 minute each.
Yep.
Okay, that's gonna
Exactly.
that's gonna be cool, man. I'm down with that. It's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna see how far I can go with it. Like, I'm gonna see if I can go past 60 seconds. I'm gonna see if like. Is my body gonna start shaking at 60 seconds? At 45 seconds, 30 seconds? Am I gonna start sweating? Like,
I
what's
had
gonna
moments
happen?
before when I was doing planks in my workout routine, and it would have me trembling. You want to forget about having money to buy more time. Do some planks, and you'll buy more time for your life. Like,
Right?
every minute's
Seriously,
gonna
man.
last.
Oh my
It's gonna be an hour.
That's wild, man. Okay. Cool.
But
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
so that's the physical tip of the day.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for bringing that to us. The mental tip of the day is a quote. And, dude, you know what? You've got the quote, man. So I'm going to let you read that one, too.
That's okay. Yep. That's right. All right. So the mental tip of the day is our motivational quote. It's you create opportunities by performing, not complaining. And so that's by Muriel Siebert. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. I think I did it right.
Yeah, I think you did it
But,
right.
If I did pronounce it wrong, I apologize in advance.
Okay.
But anyway, so the quote: "You create opportunities by performing, not complaining."
Okay, yeah.
Emphasis on the not complaining part.
Absolutely, man. Because like
That's what I've done for too many years.
young people in general,
Just complain all
complain
the time.
instead of looking
complain.
instead of looking for
I still work
solutions,
on that.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I think that's you reach a level of maturity where you're like, you know what? I'm going to take ownership of this problem, because like in the early phases, you blame everybody else for the problem,
Yes.
right? Oh, it's because of them. It's because of my
It's
parents.
always because of everything.
It's because of the
else,
teachers.
you know?
It's because of these people are jerks, you know?
Always,
always-
waiting for the time to be right for things.
You know?
I haven't started my business yet because of this and
Right.
because of that. Always.
Right.
Oh, I didn't do my homework. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention in class because this guy was making funny jokes, and I thought they were funny, so I wanted to laugh at it with it. Like,
Right.
always pointing the finger at something else.
Right.
I used to always do
So
that.
it's making
Always.
excuses
Always making excuses.
or complaining that it's not right. The conditions are not right.
Yeah.
Where the other thing is,
yes, that's a huge thing.
right? Instead of saying, complaining about other people and what they're not doing or what you're not getting or the conditions not being just right for you to do whatever you got to do,
Yep.
you've got to look for ways to create things. And so this is calling.
Yes.
So like it's being resourceful, right? There's 2 things you need
Yes.
to do a business, right? You need resources, and you need to be resourceful.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between that. Resources,
Know how to use
money
it.
is a resource.
Yeah.
The cell phone is a resource. We need a camera in order to do this show. We don't have a nice Canon camera that we could use and put it in 1080p DSLR mode.
Exactly.
Right?
We don't have that right now.
But we have an iPhone 13 that does just fine. Right?
Exactly.
So use what you got, right? Use your resources, and that's being resourceful. Using what you got, right?
Absolutely.
So you need those two things in order to become a higher achiever.
Yeah, and also thinking outside the box is another part of the equation, because that's how you figure out what resources you do have.
Oh, I love that.
You can block yourself so much because you don't think outside the box. And
be creative.
I find being creative, be a creator.
Yes.
You know? I had so many moments where even just recently, not long ago, like just all throughout my life, but as I'm getting older, I start to make less excuses and I try to make more adjustments and figure out and create more solutions to my problems. But a lot of the times I will get excited about something, and if something gets in the way, I would immediately shut down the idea or whatever it was I was going for. If something happened, something's closed today, I can't go in, I'm upset instantly. And that would crush my momentum. And that was a big problem that I faced. So I still kind of face. And so what I do now is, okay, I prepare myself for, okay, there might be something coming in my way. How am I going to react to that?
I love that.
This time?
You ask yourself a question.
How am I going to react?
How can I fix this?
How can I solve my problem? Because the normal way that Sebastian does things is, he gets pissed off that something came in the way, but that's life. Life is your biggest competitor. So, and what really, you are your biggest competitor. It's life, but it's also really yourself. You get in your own way.
I think,
and so
there's more to it than that too, though. I think coming from a Christian worldview is that, you're going to be challenged because sometimes God will do that to strengthen you.
That too, exactly. So it's not just bad things are happening to you, but He's also testing you.
He's testing you, or putting you through preparation.
Exactly.
To become the better version of you that's going to be more impactful for your future and for other people's futures as well.
I like that. I like where you're going.
You know what I mean?
That.
Right?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly where I was trying to go. It's not just life is throwing you things, but God could also be testing you too. And so when you're facing these situations where you're going to get tested, He's like, I actually really agree with that more, because it's like you think that something's going to go perfectly down the yellow brick road. You think you're just going to cruise on down the street and it's going to be smooth. But then God will be like, okay, you know what? Here's a hurdle. What you're going to do if I put this hurdle in your path, will you overcome?
Yeah, can you jump over it?
Exactly.
Or you're going to stop and turn around?
Exactly.
You're going to go left or right?
In most cases, I would have turned around, or I would have just been pissed off.
A lot of people do.
Exactly. And when I changed my mindset, the solution to what I wanted, I didn't even need to do anything, go anywhere or do anything. I could do it all online. And so
wow. Yeah. Okay.
That was a big slap in the face. Oh, not really a slap in the face. Okay, a slap to my ego's face. That was a big slap in the face of my ego, because I was so upset that things weren't working perfectly, when had I realized I could just take a step back and, okay, let me figure out how my problem without getting upset. Let me create a solution. And it was easier than I even thought it was.
I think there's two elements that causes that friction. I think one thing is personality.
Yes.
Right? So you're personality is
I'm stubborn.
Right? I'm spoiled.
Yep.
And I'm pissed off and I'm gonna have a temper tantrum because I'm not getting my way.
Because you're not getting your way. That's exactly what I do.
And then the second thing is that's too difficult and I'm a little lazy and so I don't want to overcome this problem because I'm gonna have to work harder.
Do the work for it.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to do that extra work, but you know where the successes are?
After the extra
work. It's doing the work, man. You've got to walk the walk.
And I notice when I walk the walk, the problem gets solved.
Yeah.
When I get upset and I'm all pissy about it and I'm complaining, it's not doing anything. It's not making me happy. And when I complain, it's usually to my girlfriend because she's with me all the time.
Which makes the situation even worse.
It makes it worse because I'm feeling my vibe, I'm feeling her vibe.
Exactly.
I'm sucking the energy out of both of us.
Right.
Because I'm letting the bag,
take you to a
Twitter
place,
mindset.
the air turns black.
Yeah. Like in the movies,
And the
everybody's
devils
like,
and the demons are laughing.
yeah, celebrating.
Seriously, right? Like,
And the ghost is like, you know what?
this
Here's this
the
mindset.
angels are like, why are you doing that? There's
Yeah.
another way.
Yeah.
And then the demons are like, ha ha ha, we burned another one, man. Dude.
This is hilarious for a cartoon.
Yeah, it seriously would be, right? But you know what? Like, corporate America or whatever, like the mainstream, they're not going to do that because they don't want,
Hollywood.
they're whoever, they don't want to believe and they don't want to go that route.
Yeah.
But it would be a good cartoon for Christians. So hey, Christian networks, go ahead and make a cartoon. We'll be the voices.
You can make us into the character.
Yeah, we're good with that. That's awesome, man.
But yeah, so that was great.
Funny.
I think.
We nailed it with the mindset today, man. That was great. That's awesome. Okay, cool.
Gems in there.
So I hope you got some. You got some golden nuggets from that, right? Gems.
Oh, yeah.
So we're bringing the treasure to you today, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the
that's
physical, the mental. Now it's the spiritual tip of the day.
Right.
You don't mind if I read because since you
we'll
did the
switch it
first
up
two.
this time,
Okay,
I'll
cool.
let you do the honors.
All right, so this is our Bible study version section of our show.
Yeah.
And so our spiritual tip of the day, what we're doing is we're going through Living the 66 Books of the Bible by Dr. David Jeremiah. And today we are reading from the book of Ezra. And this is a summary of the book of Ezra. To understand the book of Ezra, it's important to know it tells two stories. The first 6 chapters describe the first group of exiles who came from Babylon to rebuild the temple and restore the city of Jerusalem. There follows a gap of nearly 60 years, and chapters 7 through 10 speak of the second group of exiles who returned under the leadership of Ezra to restore solid Bible teaching to Israel in its own homeland. The rebuilding of the temple in the first part of the book involved hard labor. When the exiles arrived in Jerusalem, the Temple Mount was nothing but ruins covered with vines and weeds, a haunt for wild dogs and jackals. You know what a jackal is? Some kind of animal, right?
When I think of it, probably something like a hyena or something.
Yeah, like a hyena. Yeah. Exactly. Slowly but surely, the workers cleared away the debris. The first thing they did was restore the altar that had stood before the temple, allowing them to again offer sacrifices for sin. That altar anticipated the cross of Christ, and we can learn something from the story. How often we need to rebuild something in our lives that has become broken down. That's great. We are under construction, and the Lord who has begun a good work in us is determined to complete it. Wow, man, I like it.
That's
Whenever we need a new beginning or a middle course correction, we have to kneel at Calvary for fresh grace and renewed zeal.
Wow.
Fanny Crosby wrote, "Jesus, keep me near the cross, there a precious fountain, free to all, a healing stream, flows from Calvary's mountain. May the cross of Jesus Christ be our glory forever. Amen, amen." Key theme. In rebuilding anything, we must start with the altar, reestablishing the cross of Jesus Christ as central to our lives and activities. Key challenge. Stay near the cross of our Lord, watching, waiting, hoping, and trusting in its redemptive power. I love that, the word redemptive power.
Yeah.
Redeem. Why do we need to be redeemed? Because we're living in the flesh. We're here. We're not on the other side of heaven. And on this side of heaven, inside of the flesh, we are exposed to sin all the time. And so, we just naturally, our minds, our bodies move towards sinful activities. And so we need to be redeemed on a daily basis from the sins that we do, because God is a holy and pure God, and we are impure creatures, but he loves us and he gives us redemption, but we have to ask for it on a daily basis, right? Mm-hmm. It's already given to us. Once you trust in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, it's given to you, but you still want to exercise the act of repentance and receiving grace, right? Receiving his forgiveness and getting back on track. Bottom line is, it helps us to get back on track to living a righteous life. That's our goal, right? We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fall down. We're going to break this temple, and we need to rebuild it on a daily basis, right? Get back on track on doing good.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Key verse. And they sing responsively, praising and giving thanks to the Lord, For he is good, for his mercy endures forever toward Israel, and that applies to everyone through Jesus Christ, not just Israel. Then all the people shouted with a great shout when they praised the Lord, because the foundation of the house of the Lord was laid. Of course they're singing praise, because now they have the place that they want to worship, because that's where they felt the most. This was before Jesus, right? So this is where they felt the closest to God, was at the temple. And so they were really excited about being in the temple, because they wanted to be close to God.
Yeah.
And when you really get to know God, you aspire to be close to him. You want to hug him. You want to love him, because he's our dad. He's our creator.
Yeah.
And so it's a beautiful thing when I see this. I think, how beautiful. And these people did not live in our time, where we know that God is living inside of us.
Yes.
So it's amazing. All you got to do is look inward, and you have the temple inside of you. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, here's a key prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for your gift of the gospel. The gospel is the good word, right? It tells us about our salvation. That's the gospel. May the gift of salvation through Christ's death on the cross remain central to all I do and say in my life. Because it's a reminder, right?
Yeah.
That he died on the cross. He came back up. He's living inside of us.
Yeah.
We have a relationship. We're redeemed forever. And that's a beautiful reminder to keep in your mind and in your heart, in your soul, on a daily basis. Thank you.
Man, the book of Ezra.
Yeah, great message, right?
I like the part about course correction. Because that applies in our lives all the time. And there's talking about in the story, course correction was needed. Sometimes you got to rebuild yourself. So if we're the temple, we got to rebuild. We got to keep our temple clean, pure, of course. But that part about the rebuilding, the course correction, is because sometimes you're going down the wrong path for yourself. 100%. And God will course correct you and take you out of that position and put you in a different position.
Sometimes it hurts.
You don't realize in the moment, like when you get caught, you get used to being somewhere or something, you have to move away, or you get so sad about it. Whatever the case is, the course correction isn't always a pleasant one.
No.
It can be
terrible.
It can have many rough roads. I've been on it.
Me too.
I get it. I know what the course correction is like. And so after looking back on it, I can see, okay, that was my course correction in that moment. Did I enjoy it back then? Heck no.
No, absolutely not.
I hated it.
It's not fun.
But now that I look back on it, I'm very grateful and appreciative.
Same here, man.
I went through those situations. So it's great that we have the opportunity, I think. I'm grateful that I can course correct and that I can rebuild myself. Not just myself, others as well, but when it comes to our lives, we're all living our life here on earth. And when it comes to my life and improving myself, I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to, if I'm going down the wrong path like I was, I'm now on a much different path now, and I love the path that I'm on now. I'm grateful that I was able to get those course corrections and I was able to rebuild myself, and I'm still in the process of rebuilding. I'm still building, now I'm not so much rebuilding, now I'm building the Sebastian 2.0, 3.0 that I want to be and that I am right now, and I want to keep getting better. And so I can't stress enough how grateful I am that you have that opportunity to get better and to rebuild yourself, because there's some people out there that didn't get that chance and they went down the wrong path, they went down the wrong road, whatever happened in their lives, and they paid the ultimate price for it. A lot of them have either lost their life or they've lost everything, and now they're homeless, going through crazy. Their finances are
a mess.
Could be broken, like
totally broken.
They're just going through could be broken family. They don't ever hear the words "I love you." They don't have a loved one, a spouse, their siblings, whatever it is. They might not have family. Their family might have all died off. And
That's
there's
true.
people in
They're
really
alone.
terrible positions, and they're all alone, and they don't have anyone else. So I'm very grateful that I was able to learn from my mistakes and improve myself to get to who I am, to keep getting better, because there's so many people that didn't get that chance, or maybe they did get their chance but they blew it. That's another thing that you have to be aware of, is that you get chances in life. I don't know how many you might get only one, maybe a couple. I have had a couple chances. I've had a couple close calls with death, with losing my life. I've been close to it. Not many people can genuinely say that, but I've had moments where I've almost lost my life because of my own, the problems. And so there's so many people that blow their chances. So, God's going to show you when you need to get a course correction. And if you don't pay attention and realize that you need to get out of the situation that you're in, and you need to stop hanging around the certain people that you're hanging out with because they're putting you in bad positions. Yeah. Just like we talked about before, you got to watch your circle, watch who's around you.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to go off on a tangent here.
No, that's great.
But,
it speaks.
It's
your testimony is valuable to people who are looking for guidance. Okay, because you are speaking to that younger version of you that needed to go through those changes.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. And for those of you, for anyone who's out there that's watching this, whether it be right now or in the future, if you're watching this and you're all alone, you feel completely isolated, you have nobody to turn to, let me tell you, there are so many amazing people that are out there. There are so many Christians that want to love on you like a brother, like a sister, like a son or a daughter, and you need to get into the right group. So go to church. Find a church to get plugged into, a local church.
Yep.
Get plugged in. Go to the connect groups. Go to the service.
Yeah.
Shake hands with people. Introduce yourself. Tell them where you're at. And you will build a new family because we are all the family of God. Yes. All of us are the family of God. All of us believers are a united family. And we, us Christians, we want to look out for each other. And there's financial support in the church as well. I've seen people get benevolent funds. The church takes benevolent funds from us donors. We contribute to our church so that we can help people who are in distress.
Yeah.
If you're a mother and you're alone and you need help, go to the church. If you're dealing with domestic violence and you need a place to find shelter away from that person who's attacking you, go to the church. There's houses that are there for people that are in that situation, right? They will get you into a safe space. And then and little by little, by hanging out with those people, by working on yourself, you're gonna climb yourself up to a higher status. You're going to fix your problems step by step, one by one. God will work through you. You'll fix all those problems. You'll look back in the future and you'll say, wow, my life is substantially different because I took each of those hard steps one by one with the help of God and with the help of these great people that God put in my life to get these things fixed. So now I'm a new person. You'll find you can create your own new family.
Exactly.
You can find a husband or a wife. You can have children. If you're unable to physically have children, you can adopt children. You can create the family that you want, and the right place to do that is with other good people that are looking out for your best interests, and the church is that place to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you feel like you're all alone, do not give up.
100%.
Don't
quit.
Lose the fight in your heart. You gotta have a fire in your heart. The fight that you have, the last bit of it. Do not lose it. Don't give up, and definitely don't go to the wrong path of trying to end your life.
Right. Or keep hurting yourself. Like don't keep rolling around like a pig in mud. Okay. Get out of that mess and start cleaning yourself up.
Exactly.
Don't punish yourself anymore, right? Because things haven't gone well, because you weren't dealt with like the good hand and the dealing of cards. You work with what you got, and you build
exactly.
Up. So you'll find that your environment will change completely. We have the capacity, and this is why I love mindset work, because you really do have the capacity to change your environment. And somebody told me one time, you're not a tree where your feet are planted by roots into the ground. Yep. You're not a tree. You're mobile. You're able to move from one location to another. Exactly. You can change your environment from where you are to somewhere different. We are living examples of that. If you look at our prior households in the past, our first home my parents' first home was a mobile home in Georgia, and we've had at one point I had a house that's now worth $1 million. I sold it for $285,000 back in 2005. It's $1 million home now. You know what I mean? If we would have stayed there, we'd be living in $1 million house today.
Exactly.
I mean? We're living in an expensive condo here in Jacksonville. The thing is, you can completely change your environment if you put yourself in the right position and take the right steps to do so. There's nothing stopping you from doing it but yourself. Your environment may not be right, but you can change your environment to make it right.
Exactly, and it all starts with the mindset. And don't expect it all to happen in 2 minutes, 2 seconds,
Yeah.
2 days, because
Yeah.
it's impossible. It's not going to happen overnight.
Look, I have an example. If you're homeless, right? You see that water bottle right there? You can grab this water bottle. You can go and buy a whole pack of these, 40 of them, right? For like $6, $5, right? And sell them for $1 a piece out on the street. Yeah. Every day you sell 3 packages of these, you make $120 a day. Minus your expenses, $18 for 3 packages. Now you've made $100 profit. $100 profit a day selling water bottles. You don't have to be poor.
And there's not too many. I don't know what it's like to be homeless, so I can't act like I'm speaking from experience. But from what I see, I don't ever see homeless people with something for sale. Like, oh, hey, they get some money and change. They don't get a lot, but if they save it instead of going to use it to get another drink or a pack of cigarettes or something like that, like usually
cigarettes, alcohol, drugs,
drugs,
street drugs, which are even
they
worse.
Their addiction that they're they're paying for their addiction. And if they didn't do that, they went and saved up their money, or however long it takes them to get it from the side of the road, or
they can change their environment.
They can go and get a pack of water for $5, $6, and go and start selling it. I haven't seen any homeless person selling. They're always asking for money,
right?
But I don't ever see them when you get that money go and try to flip it and go and try to sell some water bottles. I've never seen them selling water bottles. I see kids on the side of the road selling water bottles and Gatorades. In Miami, you got the Spanish guy selling flowers on the road.
Yeah,
I love you. Right. So it's always people that have a home and they have everything. They want to go and make a little bit of money on the side, and I don't know what they have, if their house, a living situation. But for the most part, I see people that are not homeless on the side of the road selling drinks, selling Gatorade, selling roses, all kinds of stuff like that. I don't ever see the homeless people trying to do that. They could seriously not change their whole situation, but if they switch their mindset, it would start to make a change for them. They would start earning some income.
If they did, just think about this. If you sold 4 packages of water a day and you made $100 cash per day, right? You could buy a tent and pay $33 at a KOA campground to sleep in a tent at a KOA campground, or you could pay about $50 or $60 for a hotel room at one of these Motel 6s or Red Roof Inn.
That's right.
Okay, so if you sold $100,
save up for a few days.
So you could pay for your hotel. If you're making $700 a week, because you're selling $100 a day, $700 a week, $300 goes to your hotel, an extended stay hotel, and you got another $300 to save to make your life better. Okay, and then you could go from selling water bottles to buying lawn equipment to mow lawns and create yourself a landscaping company. Or pressure washing. You could buy a pressure washing machine and go do pressure washing. You can scale up from selling water bottles on the street to running a business that's a productive, successful business. You could have teams working for you and become financially successful starting from selling water bottles. You can scale up. You don't have to be homeless.
It's a long road.
But you gotta kick the habits, the bad habits. You gotta kick the addictions. And that usually requires going into, if you're really bad off, you need to go into a center, and there's centers available for you that you can go to, right, and get fixed, right? Overcome that hurdle. And then you have to change your environment completely and don't go around that stuff at all. Like, stay away from it completely.
Exactly.
In order to stay clean. Anyway, we went off on a tangent. So, hopefully that's helpful to somebody who watches this, because I think that's why we went into it, was to be able to provide value to somebody who needs to hear that. Yeah. But let's get back on track with our show. Thank you so much for listening. Absolutely. Rebuild the temple.
Yep. Rebuild the temple. If you need a course correct, course correct yourself. I feel like you're going
for the little things too.
You can also course correct yourself. God doesn't always have to come in and course correct you.
We're all guilty of
doing your own choice.
We all need to course correct.
All of us.
all of us. Every day.
Yep.
Every day.
That was great.
Like even when it comes down to me eating like 5 cookies today.
Yeah.
I ate 5 chocolate chip cookies today. I need to course correct. Okay. Shame on me. Okay. All right. So that was our spiritual tip of the day. Now, entrepreneurial tip of the day. So for the entrepreneurial tip of the day, I have an article that I read from the Harvard Business School Working Knowledge, right, publication. And this is for business professionals, right, business owners. And the article title is "More Proof That Money Can Buy Happiness or a Life with Less Stress." So my question that I posed in here on the podcast is, can money really buy happiness? So listen to this information, and you're going to see that money can buy happiness. Okay.
Oh, I can think of many ways right now it can make me much happier. I'd be real happy driving a Ferrari.
I would too. What? It's on the list, man. And I would be even happier if that Ferrari is parked next to the Aston Martin in my 5-car garage in my mansion in Tomball. And another set in the one in the beaches.
I'd be real happy in my yacht on that beach.
Oh yeah, baby. And I got a picture of it right over here. All right, so the big idea is financial stability helps people escape from everyday worries of life. And this is according to John, here we go with the names, right? Jakimowicz. I think I said it right. Jakimowicz, Professor John Jakimowicz. He's a professor of organizational behavior at Harvard Business School. So he says, yes, okay, so this is what he disclosed in his research. Okay?
Yeah.
According to the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, 1 in 4 Americans faced financial scarcity, that means not having enough finances, in 2019, before the COVID situation. That means people are living, back in 2019, 25% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck. 25%, 1 in 4, living paycheck to paycheck. And a study of 522 participants with incomes from $10,000 a year, which is poverty, $10,000 a year, to $150,000 or more a year. These 522 participants were given a diary, and they had to write in the diary every day for 30 days. They had to track their daily events and their emotional responses to those events. And here's 3 things that the findings revealed. Number 1, money reduces intense stress.
Oh yeah, that absolutely.
Like, you don't need a Harvard report to tell you that, right?
That's the basics. That's common knowledge, right?
Oh yeah, that's street knowledge right there. Number 2, more money brings greater control.
Yes.
Right? You feel more empowered when you have money.
Yeah, you have more control over your life. What's
and
going on,
the situation,
what you want to do, what you can do,
right?
Paying your bills.
You don't have money to pay that bill. You can't pay it.
You don't have control over
I
that.
feel that right now, buddy. That's why I need you to enroll in our classes. Because I'm a teacher. We're teachers, and we need to educate. We need the audience. Okay, I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying. I just put it on here. Let's be real. It's a real we're raw show.
Just join.
Here we go. Just join now. If you don't ask, you won't get received. Okay. And then the third thing was higher income leads to life satisfaction. Of course, life satisfaction. Yes. All right. So the key takeaway is this: everybody has problems. Whether you're rich or you're poor, whether you make $10,000 a year or $150,000 a year,
you're always gonna have problems.
Everybody has problems. Okay, none of us are immune from having problems. Okay,
No.
People deal with divorce, they deal with death, they deal with a loss of a job. That's financial distress. Yeah, they just got divorced.
They just got a divorce.
Yeah,
and they're supposed to be.
They're very wealthy
happy
people, right? Yeah,
very wealthy.
I'm so sorry for both of you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. If you're watching this, thank you for watching. I wish you guys both the best, man. And if you want to talk about divorce, Tom, I've been through it, man. I can talk to you. Been there, bro. All right. But I have this amazing son that came out of it, so thank God. All right. So number 1, everybody has problems. Number 2, having money allows you to fix your problems a whole lot faster.
Yeah.
Better sooner than later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Here's issues with people without money. People without money lean on friends and family more often, straining their relationships.
Yeah.
You can see how that happens, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, I need you to watch my kid. Oh,
Yeah.
I need you to loan some money. And then the relationship gets strained, and then now they don't want to watch your kid anymore. They don't want to loan you any more money anymore, right? So I've been through this. I can tell you, man, it sucks.
Oh, even
you get to a point where it's like you don't even want to ask nobody for nothing anymore. You become really tough and independent because you feel like pissed off because your friends aren't there to help you, or your family's not there to help you, and you get mad at them, but really it's your own issue. It's not their issue, and it's really your fault because you're asking for them for too much. And if you had money, you could just hire the babysitter, right, to fix the problem. So like you just got to make more money.
Ruin your relationships. And
It so can. It does all the time. That's why people get divorced a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, money usually is a cause of divorce. It's a big contributing factor.
That too. It ruins marriages.
It does.
Friendships.
Or maybe it puts too much strains on, like, maybe the people weren't meant to be together in the beginning, but they got together.
That too.
And then it just
became. They couldn't work through the hard.
Because the fun is over now. It's like work.
It's not fun. Yeah. You gotta actually.
And they don't want to do the work.
Talk to each other and
deal with the problems.
Compromise. Yeah, exactly. Figure out how you're gonna get through that. A lot of them don't make it, once the money is not there, or all the fun times are gone. Now now we're back to. And
I don't know, man. So it's like the world is such a selfish place now. People are so much more selfish and they're self-serving, so much more than in the past. Like, back in the day, man, people they dealt with problems like adultery. They dealt with communication issues and financial issues, but they worked through it anyway because they had a stick-to-itiveness attitude, right? Can't do it. We'll fix it attitude. And
people are quick now to just give up.
And people just quit like, no. What's in it for me? I'm out.
Yes, exactly. It's not suiting them anymore. It's not fun for them anymore.
And that
cuts you out.
And let me tell you, there's a look. If the majority of the population is doing that, right? 1 out of every 2 marriages is in divorce today, right? Statistically in America. Wow. And so, like, if that's the standard, then we're causing our children to grow up in that environment. And that's not healthy for them. It causes a lot of strain and conflict for the children. Absolutely. So what do you expect is going to happen to our nation at large if everybody's doing this? So we got to wake up, people, and fix this problem, right? Because the problem starts with us, okay? It's on, the onus is on us to fix it. Okay, anyway, I'm just saying, but that's like aside from this. Okay, so the second thing is that they feel shame. People that are poor feel shame. I know what that's like. And then they avoid dealing with their problems, which often makes the problems even worse. Wow. Which is terrible. So it's a cyclical effect. It's a domino effect, right? Yes. And it's going downhill. They also have, here's a conflict. They also have lower job performance, right? They do worse on the job. And they have a problem with dealing with long-term decision making.
Wow.
Right? That's significant.
And multiple areas of their life.
And they also have difficulty with creating meaningful relationships.
Wow.
Dude, this is so insightful, right? Okay, what's the key takeaway? Like, what's the big question, like, for business owners, right? How do we tie all of this information that we've got? Remember, this guy works in organizational behavior. Organizational behavior is how is your organization, your business, functioning, which is comprised of human beings, okay? So here's the question I want to ask you. How can you structure your business to help your staff feel empowered to overcome the stressors that they're dealing with so that they can become more productive for themselves and their families and therefore more productive in your business? How can you help them fix their problems? And number 2, by helping everyone in your organization will improve. Therefore, your goal should be, I want to be in one of the top 10 best places to work.
Yes.
In order for you to achieve that, to be the top 10 best places to work, you need to take care of your people.
That's right.
Okay? Maybe you can't make them all $100,000 income earners. Maybe some of them are going to be at $30,000 or $40,000 income earners. But guess what? You can have a benevolency fund, just like the church does.
Yeah.
You can have a benevolency fund in your organization to help people when a problem arises.
When a rainy day comes.
When rainy days come. Can you help fund them? Can you give them an advance on the income that they're going to earn? If you go a little bit further to help your people out, you'll earn their loyalty. You'll have a better environment.
Yes.
And people will be happy to show up to work. And they won't be coming in late. And they won't be in there with a bad attitude and underperforming. Yes. Right? When you're happy and your life is in order, you go to your job happy, ready to perform, and you achieve more.
Yes.
So it's only going to be beneficial. It may cost you a little bit more out of pocket, but you're going to earn more profits because of the productivity. So actually, you might even make more profit by doing this strategy. And it's the right thing to do anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that was great. So
Thank you. So that was the Entrefluential tip of the day.
yeah,
Take care of your people.
yes, and
Money does buy happiness.
Money can buy happiness because it can also cause so much unhappiness and so many problems with yourself, your self-esteem, your relationships with your
people, with your
everyone else. It's internal and external problems that money
100%
will give you. So just being rich, you're gonna have problems no matter what, rich or poor. The problems never go away. There will always be problems, but the happiness and your quality of life, if you have money, you're going to live a much better quality of life. Even though you don't need to be so worried about materialistic things and stuff like that and be happy.
Right.
But how can you be happy when you've got bills to pay and you're not making enough at your job, and then your family relationships are getting ruined, your friendships, your relationship with your spouse, if all of that's crumbling, it's pretty hard to maintain the happy attitude all the time. Yeah. Obviously, when you're in that situation, you want to flip your mental attitude and you want to work out of it. But money is the tool
to help you fix it.
That's going to help you fix it. Exactly.
There's a couple of biblical lessons that come out of this that just came to mind as well. And number one, it's you have to practice good stewardship, right? So good stewardship is having the money and the resources to take care of your problems and to take care of the problems of your family. In every household, the eldest son is supposed to be first the father is the caretaker, the main steward of the household. Then the eldest son takes that position for the father and becomes the main steward for not only for his personal family, but also for the family of the siblings as well in the family. And so your stewardship is to take care of the whole group. Right. So that good stewardship helps people to alleviate problems, because we all have problems and you're supposed to take care of those problems. Yes. So that's one biblical rule from there, this good stewardship. That came to mind. There was something else that came to mind, but it already slipped past my mind.
No, but that's a great one. You know, be a good steward with your money.
Be a good steward with your money. Oh, I remember now. I remember what it was. So poverty and extravagance are the two forms of wretchedness. Poverty, living like we were talking about, living out there in the streets and not working. And listen, if a man doesn't work, a man doesn't eat. Okay, that's a saying that comes from the Bible, right? There's also feed a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. So you have to learn how to go out there and fish. You got to earn your bread and bring home your bread. Exactly. So you got to be a good steward. You got to be a good worker as well. Be a good steward, be a good worker, and don't be poverty and extravagance. Don't be an extravagant person, which is the flashiness, right? You don't have to walk around with an entourage and drive a Bentley and showcase yourself as oh, look at me with my Lambo, and y'all need to follow me and my gospel because I'm the one who's got it, and you're like this little demigod,
That's the wrong way to go about when you have nice things like that.
No.
When you're in a position to have nice things,
you use it,
go and show it off to everyone.
Yeah, you don't have to be a show off. Right? Yeah. Don't be a show off. That's terrible. That's wretchedness in the eyes of God. Yeah. What you want to do is you want to be humble with your money. Okay.
Yes.
There's a lot of millionaires out there. You won't even know they're millionaires because they dress regular clothes and they drive regular cars.
Exactly.
And you wouldn't even know it.
Look at Keanu Reeves. He takes the
very
subway.
Humble. Yeah.
I mean, he's a famous actor. He's got millions.
Right.
And he takes the subway.
Yeah.
He takes the train.
Yeah.
Takes the train. Subway train.
Yeah, honestly, that's really humbling, right? It's cool.
I mean, to think of it, and then he even gave up his seat. There was a pregnant woman. There's something online that was all over the internet.
Yeah.
There's a pregnant woman, I think she was, and he saw her standing, and he got up.
That's the right thing to do.
Could sit down.
Yeah, be a gentleman.
He's got millions. He probably has really nice cars. All kinds of things.
He does. I've heard he's gone into in a Ferrari or something.
Okay, yeah.
Starbucks.
So, I mean, he's got
a country club.
Wow. Okay, so he's got all the toys.
He's got the toys, but he's still humble, and that's what we need to be, is humble.
He's humble. Imagine you have that Ferrari, but he's still taking the train.
Exactly.
And little things like that. And he's such a humble guy. He doesn't.
That's great.
Walk around with the energy,
just be humble.
Yeah, exactly.
Just be humble.
He's humble, and we can learn something from that.
I respect that.
With your money.
I respect everybody's
things, but don't be so flashy and so quick
you can
want to
enjoy
show everyone off. Show it off to everyone.
Right. Don't be a show off.
And give back.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Absolutely enjoy it, man. Go to the
Enjoy
country
it.
club. Go play
Enjoy
golf.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
take your vacations, man. You know, if you want to rent a charter or a Learjet to fly to Europe, and send me an invite. I'll go with you.
Yes, exactly.
but don't go showing off and like, oh, look at me, check me out. I'm in my jet right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Showing everyone.
Yeah, come on. That's wretched. That's not
It's
good behavior.
it's a huge difference when there's a wealthy person with humbleness versus one that's cocky and arrogant because they're so wealthy. And I've seen videos like on TikTok, people go and interview, how much do you make a year and stuff like that, and what's your routine? What can you give my viewers? And I've seen all kinds of videos like this.
Yeah.
And I've seen characters, these people, where I saw one guy recently that was very humble, and he had the time to talk to the reporter. Like, he's not a reporter, but he's just doing his own TikTok thing. Mm-hmm. So he's a reporter for his own channel. You know, he's an interviewer. Okay. And the guy was giving him the time of day to do the interview. Mm-hmm. And the person with the TikTok, the channel, the account, he was saying, you know, I've interviewed some people, and some of them act like they don't have the time of day to even talk to me. They don't have the 5 seconds. And so the one guy was talking about how, you know, he uses money to buy himself time and not the other way around. So he's got the money, basically, he's got the money. So now he doesn't, like, he's got all of his ducks in a row, and he's not a super flashy. He looks sharp, but he's not a super flashy. But the guy is wealthy. He's got plenty of money. He's had a startup business, and then he sold it, and now he's an angel investor.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's got money, you know? But he's not walking around like Mr. Big Shot. Oh, I don't have the time to talk to you because I'm on my money time or you know, whatever. People are just so arrogant.
Or you're not valuable enough for me.
That's another thing is that they do. They think that other people are so much lesser.
Right.
You know, and so that's one thing it was a small thing, but that I just noticed his humbleness, and he gave the interviewer, the guy, he gave him the time of day to talk to him, and the things that he said, you know, about. He's got everything in order, so now he wants to use his time with what he thinks is valuable.
That's good.
And it's little things like that. He can help other people, and that's what he did. Him answering those questions and giving him insight to the things that's helping out.
Sure, it's helping other people, and that's going to expand out because it was an interview, so there's a lot more reach with that information.
Exactly. So be humble.
Absolutely.
Be humble. Don't be cocky.
And here's one more thing, like. If you're on social media and you're telling people that you're a millionaire and you make X amount of dollars, guess what you're doing?
You're a target.
You're putting a target on yourself. You're saying, hey, come kidnap me and hold me for a ransom to some freaking group that crime syndicate or whatever, or some crazy person. You know, so don't do that. Don't you need to be confidential with what you got, okay? To protect yourself and your family. All right, because you don't want them kidnapping your kid and holding them for ransom because they know that you're a millionaire and you make X amount of dollars and you're showcasing online. You know, so I mean, some people just can't avoid it. You can't avoid, but don't go out there and disclose how much you make. You know what I mean?
Don't be a show off.
Maybe they know that you make a lot of money, but they don't know exactly how much money you make.
Exactly.
And you need to shelter it. Like, you need to shield it so that people can't see what you got.
Yeah.
Okay? That's smart. Okay? Be smart with your money.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that's what I do. I'm not saying that's not what I do. You'll never know. All right, guys, that's it. That's the Entrefluential tip of the day. Thank you so much for joining us. I had fun tonight, man.
Yeah, me too.
It's always a fun time, man.
That was fun.
Oh. All right, guys. So as we always do when we wrap up our show, I can't believe next Tuesday is gonna be our last episode for season 1.
Break. Yeah.
Wow, we need the break.
We need a break so we can get the production.
But we'll be excited to come back.
Exactly.
Like, it'll be really fun. We're gonna miss you guys while we're gone. But we got one more episode next Tuesday.
Yep.
And so, like, oh, by the way, I should just make an announcement real quick. So, like, I've been going on Reels, like making Instagram Reels. I did a couple of lives to share information about our upcoming. It's a masterclass, a 10-day masterclass starting December 24th. From December 24th, I know it's Christmas Eve, but look, I'm just coming on for 30 minutes. We're going to be on between December 24th to January 2nd, and it's going to be 10 days long for 30 minutes. And the reason why it's 10 days is because there's 10 pillars of entrepreneurial success in our book and in our upcoming I was going to say masterclass, but the masterclass is actually the course, the 16-week semester long course on the 10 pillars of entrepreneurial success, which is going to open up in January. It's only going to be open from January to April, right? You get in January, you do the 16 weeks with us, and that's it. It's going to close down for a whole year. We're not going to reopen that class again for a year. So if you don't get in on it, you'll have to wait a year in order to be able to access that class again. And that's just the way that we're structuring our courses, because we have 5 courses that we want to roll out in our own little private academy, the Entrefluential Academy. Right? I'm so excited about bringing this content because I'm a teacher, right? I'm a certified language arts teacher in Florida from grade 6 to 12. But I hated going into the classroom because only like 5 kids would want to learn in the room, and the other 20 or 25 students did not want to learn. They were there, and it was a hostile environment. And it's really hard to teach when you go into that environment, because if you're an academic and you love education, then to be around people who don't love it is really disheartening. So I am so excited to be opening up our own school. And I've been teaching since 2015, and I've got right now 19,000 students around the world taking classes that are on demand. They're on autopilot. But this is actually going to be us teaching live 2 times a week for an hour and a half, twice a week at night, right? I think it's Monday and Wednesday from 6 to 7:30. And I'm really, really excited to come live and share that information with our students.
Yes.
And so, man, I'm looking forward to having people there. We're going to extend an invitation. John Paul, Greta, you guys are online watching. I want you guys to be a part of our class, and we're going to give you our tuition-free admission to the program if you guys want to be a part of it. The class is $2,000. You guys won't have to pay a penny because you're our family. John Paul, you work for me. You guys have free access to that class. I hope you guys become a part of it and learn from it and tell us how we can make it better. Anyways, for the rest of you guys who want to sign up for it, we don't have an open enrollment form yet, but we will soon. But if you want to learn about what that class is about, you can get a sample of it by doing the 10-day masterclass. So every day we're bringing valuable information from our course. The course will be more practical, more hands-on. You're gonna have you're gonna have access to the physical work, right? So it's one thing to have knowledge, but it's a whole nother thing to actually do the application of it. And so what the course is going to do is give people the opportunity to apply what you learn so that you can actually get the results from it immediately by implementing those skills in your job. Thank you for asking me to drop that. I'm going to drop the link for it in the notes here for the upcoming masterclass. So right now what we're doing is we're taking requests. There's going to be 100 seats in the workshop from December 24th to the January 2nd. And so if you go to entrefluencer.club/masterclass, you can send us a request and we'll email you a link to the workshop, the masterclass. All right. Links coming to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you guys got value from this, as always. And we always close out our show with a message.
That's right.
Go out there and amplify your message. Take care, guys. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you all next Tuesday. Love you guys. God bless you all.
God bless you.
Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And don't forget, you're our number 1 customer.
And podcast listener.
That's right. All right. Bye, guys. Take care. See you soon.